Hi, hello, my fellow keto peeps. I'm Heather. This is What's Up Wednesday. In case you forgot, I was gone last week, so this might be a shock that I'm back on again, but that's how it works. Usually every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I show up on Facebook, and some of you come across me and don't know what's going on, but for those of you that know, welcome back. For those of you that don't know and that this is new to you, welcome. I've designated myself the point person for all things keto holiday survival. So I've shared a couple of my strategies and tips over the last couple weeks on the blog for surviving holidays, and I will continue to do so to get you through these next 6 weeks. Hard to believe that it's really only 6 more weeks till the end of the year. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Tonight I'm going to be talking about what I wrote on the blog, which is having good appetizers can pretty much get you through any kind of function that you've got going on over the next 6 weeks. There's 2 in particular that I gave you the recipes for. They're 2 of my favorites, and they're not just my favorites, but they're family favorites as well. So we've got my spinach and artichoke dip, which is probably the favorite of everything that I do. It's pretty much one of those things that when I show up at a function, people are expecting me to bring that. The other thing that I love is my cashew curry dip. I am a huge fan of hummus, but unfortunately, because legumes and garbanzo beans in particular are inflammatory, and I kind of have a reaction and found out that I'm not the only one. It tends to be a common thing that they are inflammatory. So I needed to come up with some kind of swap for hummus. And this is what I came up with. If you like spicy, if you like curry, you'll love it. If you're not a fan of the curry and I think you're either team curry or you're not. If you're team curry, you're gonna love this. If not, no fear. You can actually add, and I've done this, jars of sweet red peppers, roasted red peppers into it. And I like a little kick. Red peppers, even cashews, tend to be a little sweet. So I like a little kick to it, and I'll add crushed red pepper flakes into it to kind of balance out the sweetness of the roasted red peppers and the cashews. So you can do that as well. If you like the heat, great. If you like the sweet, great. You'll get something for everybody in there. But what I want to really kind of emphasize is appetizers are a great way for, at least being in the keto world and trying to be food conscious. When I go to even restaurants, I look at the whole menu, but I like to look at the appetizers. What are things that oftentimes I can get? They're smaller portions. They tend to be less fancy. They're just basic. They're more basic and simple in line of what I'm eating. And oftentimes the appetizer, my husband and I will go and we'll get 2 appetizers or 3 appetizers, and that's it. We'll split them and really won't get an entree. So good appetizers can sometimes be the meal, and that's great. Spinach and artichoke dip is one of those for sure that has been the meal for me, especially when I'm on the run. If I've got some cut up veggies like cut up red peppers or cucumbers or celery, keep that on hand, and I can just grab a bowl of the spinach and artichoke dip and those veggies and go, and that's a meal. I don't have to think too hard on it. And that's one of the things that I want to really kind of encourage you to kind of try some different appetizers. What are some things that you know that you'll be able to eat? So no matter what function you go to, what function, party, dinner you got going on, whether you're hosting it or you're being hosted, everybody loves good appetizers. So why not make that your thing? Make that your jam. Like I do apps, and that's awesome. So people can really rely on you to show up with the starters, and that's a great way to kind of make that known. Hi, Ruby. I hope you're doing well over the Gaylord Palms. So yeah, appetizers. So that way you don't, when it comes to dinners and the other things, if you've been filling up on all the good stuff, you won't be hungry, or you'll be less likely and less inclined to go for the things that might be calling your name, even though they shouldn't be, like the desserts or the breads or the rolls or whatever it is that you feel deprived from, it will call your name, especially as the libations start to flow. If you're a drinker, I came back from a trip, and there was lots of drinking involved, and the drinking led to not such great eating. So I'll be talking about that on a whole nother broadcast. But yeah, so when you add the alcohol into the mix, if you don't have some tried and true things that you can rely on, all hell can break loose. So I encourage you to find your apps. Go over to the website, itstartswiththefood.com. Go to the blog. Last week I was sharing how a support group is really important. Like, the holidays are super stressful. Cooking for people, planning parties, showing up to parties, scheduling all that into an already full life can feel like complete overwhelm. And just like with alcohol, if I'm overwhelmed, I might not make some great decisions when it comes to food and lifestyle choices. So reaching out for support, phone a friend, have a support group. If you don't have a support group, I volunteer myself to be your support group. I'm happy to be that person for you to get you through the next 6 weeks without completely blowing everything and showing up January 1st just miserable and wanting to erase the last 6 weeks. We can do this. That's what I'm here for. We've got lots of us out there, and it's just growing. The community is growing. It's awesome to be part of a movement and see how, as each of us are going out there and kind of bringing awareness to our own friends and family, they're starting to see the benefits from ourselves, and then in turn making those choices for their lifestyle. And pretty soon you will have, just like I have, most of the people in my life are keto friendly. They might not follow it strictly, but they love the food, and they're less likely to eat and bring stuff that might tempt me or not fit in with the choices that I'm looking to make. So I've had a lot of questions about, okay, Heather, so you've told us to make some swaps. That was like the first tip I said, make swaps for the typical dinners and desserts and things like that. What am I doing for Thanksgiving this year? It's in 7-8 days. So the first year I did keto, I got a gorgeous beef tenderloin, and it was probably 5 to 6 pounds, and it was grass fed and finished from my local little store, Wild Hair. And I cut it up and made big fat fillets for everybody. And who doesn't love a steak? I mean, that was a huge hit in the family. And so all the people in my life that were grumbling that there wasn't going to be any turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing, they all settled down when I gave them a big fat steak. So I'm doing steak again this year. I've got, I think I have 10 or 12 of us that are going to be here. So I've got a pretty big group. So I've got the steak that's the main gig instead of turkey. But I'm making my spinach and artichoke dip. I'm making my cashew curry dip. I'm having my sister bring the loaded cauliflower, which if you haven't had it yet, it's like baked potato, like a loaded baked potato, but even better because you don't want to go into a food coma afterwards, after eating it. I don't do sweet potatoes often, but when I do, I boil them. So I'm going to make some some sweet mashed potatoes. And the whole reason why boiling them is a better option is because when you cook them any other way, the sugar content actually increases and the nutrients decrease. So the whole reason why you would want to eat sweet potatoes are for all the health benefits. Plus they're delicious. I mean, who doesn't love a sweet potato? Well, my kids don't, but that's a whole nother story. The sweet mashed potatoes, I'll put some grass-fed butter in it. I'll put some cinnamon in it. I'll put some stevia in there, a dash of vanilla, and maybe even throw in some pecans if you wanted to, and bake that if you wanted to bake it. I don't bake the sweet potatoes at all. So that's what I'm gonna treat myself to that. I think my sister's boyfriend is gonna bring mashed potatoes for all of the non-keto people. And that would be my boys looking for any carb ups. Since they don't do mashed sweet potatoes, they will probably load up on the mashed potatoes. So David, you are warned to bring lots of potatoes. I'm gonna make a big green salad. I've got my favorite green salad, which I'll put avocado and Parmesan crisps, some goat cheese or buffalo mozzarella, really do it up right with some red pepper and cucumber and some tomato. It's fabulous. And then I do a really easy vinaigrette with balsamic vinegar from my local store and a really good olive oil and a Dijon mustard. It's fabulous. To finish it off, I'm going to make my keto pumpkin cheesecake, which is expected. Once I made it, that was the piece de resistance everybody expects, along with the spinach and artichoke dip. And then homemade whipped cream. Again, all keto, all sugar-free, all fabulous. And my sister's gonna bring a gluten-free apple pie from Whole Foods, I think. And that's for really all the people that, again, not so keto, but I think we're pretty covered. I think we've got all of the bases covered for food. I don't think anybody's gonna miss anything. I think we're gonna have more than enough food for the 10 or 12 people that are gonna be here. And it'll be very interesting because a couple of the people that are coming to dinner this time are new to the keto world. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll let you know, not next week, but the week after, how everybody reacted to it. My urge for you is to really get a grip on this before you get into the holiday season, before you get to next week. Like, are you already thinking about it? Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to do keto and stay keto over Thanksgiving? Or are you going to cheat? And do you know what to do once you binge, not to make it just a 6-week binge fast, that you just make it, okay, this is going to be Thanksgiving, this is what I'm going to do. Do you have a plan? Whatever you decide to do, wherever you land on that spectrum, have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, get with me, and that can be your plan. And along those lines, I think I shared this with you 2 weeks ago because I wasn't here last week. From now until the end of the year, I'm waiving my initial membership fee. For all of you that have been kind of sitting on the sidelines and wanting to join but not really sure, or money was tight, I'm waiving my $59 initial membership fee from now until the end of the year. So for just $24.99 a month, you can join. You can get my books, you can get my Feed Your Soul food journal, the Ketogenic Solutions, that's your how-to guide to get started with the keto world, my cookbook. So all of those recipes and the things that I was talking about for Thanksgiving, they're all in that cookbook. You also get, like I said, the Feed Your Soul food journal. So, keeping an eye, if you're going to binge, you want to probably know how you're going to do it and what the effects are, and get right back at it. If you ignore it and bury your head in the sand, it's really easy for it to get way out of control. Whenever I do vacation eating, going on vacation like I just did this last week, I never lose complete control. Like I'm always aware. I'm always aware of what I'm doing and how I'm going to get back to doing what I was doing prior to vacation eating. So, the Feed Your Soul food journal is really great for that. Also, the keto travel guide, how to stay keto while you're on the road. I had it, brought it with me, didn't use it a whole lot in Hawaii. Hawaii is really hard with all the Mai Tais to stay that way. But you've got the keto travel guide. You also have access to our support group, the success group. It starts with the food success group. We've got members. All of us are living this life and dealing with different struggles at different times. So it's really great to have people that are on all different areas kind of reach out and give support and encouragement. Hi, Paula. Hi, Angela. So I encourage you to really kind of get involved with the community, join and be part of something really great. This is the movement that we're talking about. And best of all, you get email access to me. You get access to me. As a matter of fact, when I jump off of here tonight, I'm jumping onto the success group because I wasn't here this week. I want to give them some special time. And so I'm going to take that time and do it on our private Facebook group. But you also have email access to me. You've got my private email that I give to my group every Monday, which gives you a little bit more insight of the things that I struggle with and also succeed with and share along the way. So I encourage you, it starts with thefood.com. Go visit my blog, my videos. I've got cooking videos. I've got more that I need to put up there. But